Welcome back to Module 2, and mainly what we're going to be discussing in this video is suppliers. But just a quick note, I realized that in this module we're also supposed to be touching on storage, essential oil storage. So it's pretty basic. You want to keep them in a dark bottle, out of direct sunlight, in a cool room. So you want to avoid heat, and you want to avoid exposure to light, and you want to avoid exposure to air. Those are the three main things. And a tight-fitting, dark bottle, away from heat and away from light. Those are the basics there. So at home, I have a dark box that I think they're typically sold for like storing photos or something. But it's a dark box, and I put oils in it, label the tops of them so that I can see when I look down onto it what's in there, and that is stored, and then the box itself is stored outside, away from sunlight, not outside, but stored away from sunlight and not near a heat source. And then in the clinic, the oils are out, so they're not in something enclosed, but they're in dark bottles and they're not in direct sunlight. And then there's differing schools of thought on how long essential oils stay good. Some people feel like you need to, if you had an open oil for more than 3 months or so, it's time to switch that out. Other schools of thought are actually quite the opposite, and that they sort of improve with age. You can often tell if an oil is off, just like you can a cooking oil. That if it's gone bad, and then sometimes too the scent will really start to lessen. Like, you're familiar with how it smelled when you bought it, and then after a while it doesn't smell quite right, or you really can't smell it much at all. It's probably time to get a new one. As far as choosing bottles, if the company is going to send you whatever color bottle they use, but for making formulas or making blends for people, the best bottle to choose is a dark amber bottle. The brown bottles. The blue bottles are pretty. The blue and the purple ones are really pretty, and they're cute, and I love them, and they don't have the same degree of light protection that the dark amber bottles have. So you want to choose brown bottles, and once you put your essential oils into a carrier oil, their shelf life shortens. So you really do want to make sure that diluted blends that you're giving out to people are going to stay good for as long as possible. So put them in a brown bottle, tell them what I just told you, keep the cap tightly closed, keep it away from direct sunlight, keep it away from a heat source, and it's going to that'll make it last longer. And I always put the date on bottles that I dispense. And that's helpful for a number of reasons. Someone calls you, they got a blend a year ago, and they're like, oh, I want my same blend. And you're thinking, oh gosh, which one was that? Or you've given them several, and they're like, yeah, I want that I have this bottle. And, if you have the date on there, all you have to do is look them up in your chart, and, it was from August 8th of 2015. And you look up August 8 chart, and there's the formula. So it's helpful for a number of reasons, but it also helps them to know how old a blend is, and make sure that they're using fresh, good stuff. Okay, so that was a little bit on storage. If you have any other questions on storage, let me know, and we could cover it more in depth if you feel like we need to, but it is pretty straightforward. Okay, and so the main part of this video, we're going to be talking about suppliers. And so we're going to look at how to evaluate a supplier. I'm going to give you my recommended list of suppliers, and then I'm going to have you do a little independent research on suppliers. So there are a lot of really good essential oil companies out there. Essential oils have really been taking off in the past, 5-10 years, and lots of suppliers are showing up and cropping up, and some of them are awesome. A lot of them are awesome and have really high quality oils, more than there used to be. There used to be a pretty small handful of companies out there that were really putting out wonderful therapeutic grade oils, and now there's a lot. There are a lot of them. But there's also a lot of really dinky, diluted, adulterated oil companies, companies out there that are not doing a wonderful job. So you want to do your homework. Make sure that you're getting a good oil and getting what you pay for, and getting something that's really going to help you and your patients. So I really recommend you do your research. You check out their website, you read the About Me page, you give them a call, you give them an email, and make sure that you're finding companies, a small handful of companies to order from that you really feel good about. A really important issue in essential oil production is ethics, and farming ethics and biosustainability ethics, cultivation methods. Essential oils take a lot of product. They take a lot of plant product to make a very small amount of oil. And it's something like 1,000 rose petals in a drop or something. It's crazy. And for that reason, wild plant populations can get really devastated. So you want to make sure that you're working with a supplier that cares about that and is going to find people to sell them oils or plant products that are cultivating ethically, that are farming ethically, and it's really important. And then also you want to, essential oils are the distillation of the essence of that plant, and you do not want essential oils that come from plants that have had chemicals sprayed on them. There have been pesticides and herbicides. That's all going to get diluted down and concentrated along with the essence of the plant, and you don't want that. So you want to find organic oils or wild crafted oils where you have contacted the company and you feel good that the wild crafted things are actually wild crafted and haven't been sprayed with chemicals and aren't from the side of a highway, or come from a nice clean area. And there are lots of those. There's some debate there. Some people will only use organic oils. I'm generally comfortable using a wild crafted oil if I've looked into it and I feel okay about it, and I know that it comes from a clean part of the world and is being, like I said, being cultivated ethically, and the plants are given a chance to keep growing and not just being mowed down. So those are some really important things to consider when you're choosing an essential oil company. And that's one of the reasons I'm a little bit hesitant to use some of the larger essential oil companies, because I just don't know how they could be getting consistent, uniform, high quality product at the volume that they do in an ethical manner. It's possible. And I have to say I've done more research into the ones that I use than I have into the ones that I don't use. So I will definitely own up to that. But okay, let's see. So the independent research that I want you to do is to choose, say, 3 to 5 essential oil companies to really do your homework on and really look into, and then report back to the discussion forum on that. And it can be some of the ones that I recommend, but it'd be more fun if we kind of spread out a little bit wider and choose some of the ones that I don't mention. Get on the internet and look around and find some that look good to you and find out if they turn out to be what they're cracked up to be, and you're excited about them, and then share that, because it's always fun to add new great essential oil suppliers, and maybe you have some that are local to you and that are smaller, that you can kind of look into and then spread the word about and share with us. So that's the assignment for this module, is to just do some independent research and report back to the discussion forum. Okay, let's see. Yeah, So now we can talk about some specific suppliers, and I'm going to go into the ones that I use in clinical practice every day and recommend without hesitation. So probably the top one that I use and recommend is Original Swiss Aromatics, and this is, their bottle looks like really, really wonderful company, extremely high quality oils. I'll mention this. So when you're doing your search, something that you want to be on the lookout for is essential oil companies that can share with you the story of where an individual oil comes from. So typically, if they're a really great supplier, they're going to know the farmer, they're going to know the distiller. They probably do a lot of traveling around the world to find these farmers and to find these distillers, and then maybe they distill the oils themselves. There's, different companies do different things, but they're going to know that, and they're going to be excited about it and want to share that. So they might have a blog that shows them, in different parts of the world at different harvest times for plants that they're using for their oils. But Original Swiss Aromatics has a lot of information on each individual oil about where it came from and how they chose it and why. And they're kind of a gold standard in essential oil, really high grade essential oils. And I'll write these down. Maybe I'll write it down afterwards so that I don't have to keep moving the camera. And then the company that I use second most frequently after Original Swiss Aromatics is Sunrose Aromatics, and they use these really deep blue bottles. I don't want that to focus on me. I want it to focus on this. But I'll bring all these so you can look at them in person. Sunrose Aromatics, again, high quality oils, really wonderful selection, good information on where the oils come from, and how they're processed. Another company that I found them a couple years ago through an internet search, is Gritman. And Gritman's a really neat company. Oh my gosh, they have a lot of wonderful information on their website. They teach lots of classes. And there's a couple things that made Gritman stand out to me, why I really like them and why I use them. One is that they have a lot of hard to find oils. So they have a lot of the kind of rarer, trickier to find oils. And so they're a great resource for that. And they give a lot of information on each oil on their website, and they talk about sort of the physical things that the essential oils can be helpful for and can treat, and they talk also a lot about the spiritual, emotional work that the essential oils can do. So that's neat. It's fun to kind of see how those things might fit into Chinese medicine, and to explore some of their information. They're a neat company. They're in Texas, and Sunrose Aromatics is in Maine. So yeah, Gritman is another company that I've been really happy with and that I like. So those are sort of my three main ones: Original Swiss Aromatics, Sunrose Aromatics, and Gritman. And then I also use Snow Lotus, and I cannot figure this out. I use Snow Lotus primarily because Golden Needle is our main herb supplier, and this is the essential oil brand that they carry. But I also did do independent research into Snow Lotus, and they are a really great company, and I do like them. I feel like the other three are a little bit more high quality in terms of the oil that they deliver, but I feel pretty solid about Snow Lotus too. We carry it in our essential oil pharmacy, and I do use it quite a bit. And then one that I use less often, but is good quality, easy to find, easy for your patients to find, which is really nice if you're sending them out to get stuff themselves. I think Whole Foods sells these for sure, and that's Simplers Botanical, and they have a good line of organic oils, and they are good quality. So that's another one. And then a really common one that's not so great quality, I don't recommend a whole lot. I have a few of these oils in my personal collection at home just because I've accumulated them over time. We don't use them in the clinic. As Orocasia. So that's a decent mid-grade oil. Again, really easy to find. I would not use these internally, but we're not really talking about internal use anyway. But Orocasia is a decent topical mid-grade essential oil company. And again, very easy to find. And then we'll talk about in person, and I'll bring mine when we meet in person, but then there's Alchemica Botanical, and that's a line of essential oils made from Chinese herbs, so it's pretty exciting. Those are neat. But so those are the main companies. I'll go ahead and write them down in a minute here. And then a cool thing too is a lot of companies, when you order from them, they'll go ahead and send you a booklet, like a use a guide, and they have fun information in them, and it's probably a little bit different than what you're going to learn in this course because it's not from a Chinese medicine perspective, so it can be fun to read through those and get another little take on the oil. And then Original Swiss Aromatics and some other companies also send along, it's like a catalog that comes with it, and it's for their blends. And it can just give you some really cool ideas. You can look through it and just get some good ideas of different ways to blend oils for different conditions, and can give you kind of a neat maybe base formula for something that you'll then tweak for your individual patient. But they've got a hemorrhoid blend, a headache blend, a couple sleep blends, a eczema blend, arthritis, allergies, and all those are in there. And they're just helpful to look at. It's informative, and you might get some good ideas. Okay, now let me write these company names down. Oh, we got Original Swiss Aromatics, Sunrose Aromatics, Gritman. These are my three favorites. So we've got Snow Lotus, and Simplers. And while you're just looking at that, perhaps writing it down if you haven't already. A lot of these websites also have really fun videos and tutorials and little talks about essential oils, so those are really cool to explore too. Some that have Mountain Rose Herbs, I think, has some good videos, essential oil videos. There's one called, I'm not a huge fan of their oils, but they have really great videos and tutorials. I'll have to bring that name when we meet. Somebody remind me. And then Gritman has some really good educational information on their site. So also look for essential oil sites that have good videos that maybe you could share in the in the discussion forum. And so that wraps up Module 2, where we talked about methods of use, carrier oils, storage, and suppliers. So back soon with Module 3.